One polished paragraph hit social media at noon, and the WNBA congratulated itself on a mutual parting of ways. Dana Bonner, three-time All-Star and newly minted mentor to Caitlin Clark, was leaving the Indiana Fever. The statement was drenched in corporate calm. Despite our shared goals, the fit did not work out. I thank the franchise and wish this dynamic group great success. It sounded friendly, grown up, almost boring. Fans scrolled past, raised an eyebrow, and kept working. They had no idea they were skimming the first line of the wildest betrayal story the league has seen since the Liz Cambage LA exit. Because behind those neat sentences sat broken trust, a six-figure blunder, poisoned phone calls, and a veteran who somehow managed to blacklist herself in 48 hours flat. But let's rewind, because the polite version skips every juicy detail and every lesson. When Bonner inked a one-year $200,000 guarantee with Indiana, the marketing department popped confetti. On paper, it was genius. A savvy scorer in her mid-30s guiding the most hyped rookie of the century felt like instant ESPN content. Veteran wisdom meets cyclone rookie. In camp, Clark stayed late, running pick-and-pop reps with Bonner, soaking up footwork tips, even posting workout selfies captioned, "Learning from the beaten beat." Then the regular season arrived, pressure skyrocketed, and the temperature inside every Fever arena hit melt-steel levels. Clark was shouldering more cameras than the NBA Finals, and every opponent treated her ribcage like target practice. That's when rookie rosters need veterans most. Instead, Bonner marched into the GM's office and asked for a divorce. To the locker room, it felt like a parent walking out mid-storm. One assistant coach said privately, "Our youngest players looked stunned, like the grown-up just left the building." Clark? She kept her poker face, but teammates noticed she stopped throwing those inside joke lobs during shoot-around. Trust once broken rarely reseals. Yet the abandoned Fever were still only the opening act. The league-wide gasp arrived next. WNBA rules are simple. Quit mid-season and your contract hits waivers. For 48 hours, any of the other 11 teams can punch a one-click claim button and own that deal. Salary, bird rights, all of it. A three-time All-Star on a free platter. In most years, front offices would brawl for the privilege. This time, crickets. The deadline ticked down, the league office refreshed its system, and the page still read 0 claims. That silence was louder than a sellout crowd. It screamed, "Nobody trusts you now." Fans immediately asked why. Anti-Indiana bias? Budget issues. Then leaks started trickling out, and the polite facade shattered. The scheme ignored one tiny snag. By telling 11 franchises to stand down, she painted tampering bullseyes on her own back. General managers don't enjoy being manipulated, especially by a player whose physical prime is behind her. They compared notes, realized the hustle, and collectively replied, "Fine, enjoy unemployment." When the waiver clock expired, Bonner wasn't celebrating. She was frantically hoping the Mercury still wanted her, at a discount. NBA-sized egos forget WNBA math fast. By bailing on Indiana before mid-season guarantee deadlines, Bonner nuked her full salary. Clearing waivers meant the original contract vanished. Signing with Phoenix days later locked her into the prorated vet minimum, about $80,000 before taxes and union dues. Do the arithmetic. A self-inflicted hit of roughly $120,000. Cash most players in this league would kill to earn once in their entire career. Agents called it the single dumbest financial play since the CBA introduced protected contracts. Bonus irony? Phoenix's cap wizardry forced them to cut a hardship rookie to squeeze her in. The hometown hero arrived surrounded by teammates who'd just lost a friend to make room for her smaller-than-expected paycheck. Instant awkwardness. Money aside, the reputation quake was nuclear. Inside player group chats, the silence around Bonner was ice cold. No Instagram solidarity posts. No #PlayerStickTogether tweets. Just tumbleweeds. In a union culture where athletes usually defend each other against management, that hush carried weight. Even stars who push trade requests, think NBA's Butler, Harden, Eventually gets some peer sympathy. Bonner receives 0. Why? Because she violated the unwritten law. Don't abandon rookies who trust you. Fever youngsters had asked her for advice on handling hecklers, late-game nerves, national TV glare. She smiled, gave pointers, and then ghosted. That's not empowerment, that's desertion. League execs now fear an ugly precedent. If a mid-tier vet can bail on a binding deal the moment vibes sour, what stops others from copying the blueprint? Small market franchises rely on contract stability. Chaos chases sponsors. One marketing VP admitted, "We're pitching Fortune 500 brands right now. Last thing we need is headlines about players ghosting guaranteed deals." Yes, Phoenix eventually signed her. Yes, she'll hit some corner threes. But the cost is permanent. To Indiana fans, she's the quitter who left Clark hanging. To rival GMs, she's a tamper risk. To teammates, she's a test case in trust, fail. And the karmic twist? The Mercury, humming with joyful chemistry, just entered a brutal stretch of schedule. One locker room source whispered, "If we slide, guess who media will blame first?" Bonner's dream landing spot could morph into a microscope she can't escape. In a sport trending toward ever greater player control, Dana Bonner just demonstrated the razor-thin line between power and pride. True empowerment demands accountability. She chose entitlement, and the bill came due in lost dollars, lost allies, and a legacy now permanently footnoted with one word: quitter. So where do you land? Is walking away mid-season unforgivable or a player's right? Does the league need harsher anti-tampering teeth, or was this karma enough? Drop your take below, smash that subscribe for more unfiltered W talk, and remember, contracts, like reputations, can vanish in 48 silent hours. Stay sharp. See you in the next one.